Welcome to Holy Envy Together with Shwa and Jenny. Today's topic is interfaith and intercultural etiquettes and through our experiences. We will be delving into it and also continue our conversation in our live sessions. And before we do that, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. And please let us know what you think about this episode or any other episode of this series or any other podcast episode of Light Up with Shwa. Please, you can visit our website, lightupwithshwa.com. You can subscribe on YouTube or iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Spotify. All the details will be in show notes. So please visit our show notes because that's where you will find detailed information about this show, about us, and about and we will have some links there. So without talking about anything else, let's get into it. All right, so Jenny, before I go into the show, let's talk about our highlights of the week. Jenny, do you have anything to share today?
Yeah, well, we have again had outdoor, physically distance safe band practice with my band.
Oh,
so that's fantastic.
Wonderful.
Fun to, the things that you miss and when you get to do them is wonderful. What about you? What's your highlight?
My son visited after some time. It has been a while, so usually that wasn't a case before, but since coronavirus pandemic, we couldn't see each other for some time. So, but he came, so I was very happy to see him. So that's what it
wonderful.
is. Yeah,
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to get into more of a toolbox almost. Try to, and please share your tools with us. A bit of a repetition from our first episode when we very briefly talked about what interfaith is, will be very relevant in this context. In the interfaith work, interfaith dialogue, it's important to remember that what we're having is a dialogue, not a debate. I'm not here to try to convince you to become a Christian or anything else. I can't have a hidden agenda like that. That's important. And another wonderful one is that we can only represent ourselves.
Yeah. Only.
And an easy way to do that is to begin your sentence with saying I. I think that, or it is my impression, etc., experience,
exactly.
rather than saying all Christians do this.
Right.
All Muslims do, etc.
Yeah, exactly. But there are some points that I can say that all Muslims do that, but then that are few places that I can say. But mostly it will be still there is room. So it's better for me to be saying that I think this, there might be some others who would be doing this or the other. So I think the language or the vocabulary is very important to learn. I mean, I'm not saying that we all are born with it, but we can learn to understand our own intercultural and intra-cultural also etiquette of speaking to one another, because we know that we also have issues in our own communities of how did we talk.
That's such a good point.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's very important. So anyways, we shall be talking more on that. But I would say what you were going to talk about related to this this topic. You want to share that?
I was thinking of, for example, knowledge. I just want to say that understanding that our understanding is limited is very important.
Yep.
And it's at the basis of how we then can approach each other, asking questions. It is important to be curious, but then sometimes we are worried, how can we ask a question?
Yeah. So do you want me to... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and then we can keep in mind that this question that I want to ask might be, I'm worried that it will be offensive, for example, but I still am very curious. So then it's all in the framing. Then if I start with an I statement, say, I don't know, would you like me to tell me about what it might be?
Yeah.
Etc.
Just like when you said, this is a very heavy question usually, or can be or cannot be, depending on whom you're asking or how they're perceiving that, where are you from?
That's a great example.
So why don't you go ahead and talk about it?
So, for example, and this doesn't have to do with religion necessarily, more of origin, right, or race, etc. I when I'm often asked where do you come from, because people hear in my accent I'm not from here, and that is a question that I never interpret negatively. I only hear the curiosity aspect, but I also am white and part of that kind of majority culture. I feel included already.
Exactly.
But
that's important.
And again, that is me saying that, but I have many friends who have told me that they are over and over again asked where they come from, people of color, and not necessarily always with curiosity in a positive way, right? And then it has more to do with putting people in a box. Do you belong here, etc. So therefore, having that knowledge in mind, I then, if I meet somebody new and it's a person of color, happen to be a person of color, I will be a little. I will wait a little bit before I ask this.
That's a good strategy,
question, just in case this would actually feel offensive. And then after a while, we will come to it anyway in our conversation, or I might say, "Oh, are you from this town?" Or something like this,
or in a conversation.
That's so right. I feel that might be a responsibility that lies a bit more on people who are white in a kind of predominantly white culture,
right?
That I to keep that thing in mind, and that is something that comes with time.
So it is like from the place that you're asking, okay? And if it is from a good place, I would say usually it shows, and the energies will come to you. You will communicate that. I personally feel that if your intention is really curiosity and really to learn, like I love to ask. Actually, I personally like to ask and learn about. Oh, where are you from? Oh, you are from Sweden. Oh, wow, that's like that kind of thing. Not oh, where are you from? That kind of thing. So anyways, similar to that, and that's very important, and we shouldn't be so offended, especially because we don't know each other, right? When you are in the beginning learning about somebody and you are in an organization or in a gathering or something, so give each other a chance. Be patient, be respectful. It's not necessarily always on an agenda that somebody's, and even if they are, my philosophy is leave it on God. You do what you need to do. You don't need to find it out why they're asking and what it is. Ask them politely, and reply to them, and just take it easy. If it is that way, if it is done in that faith and in that intention, I think it will not be so offensive. That is my experience. That's
true. And at the same time, maybe actually we could almost connect back to the uncomfortable situations, right? This could be a learning opportunity also to say, actually, do you know how many times I'm asked that?
Yes, exactly. That's one way to educate.
But I must say, I recommend to try to keep these things in the back of my mind. For me, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
That yes, you don't have to take this question in an offensive way, but if this has been your experience over and over and over again, why take a chance?
And also,
as well,
do you think also it depends like where you are at that time, which country or which space you are? I think it matters too.
You're right.
Because I might be asking you this in Pakistan or Saudi Arabia, and it's like, oh, where are you from? What are you doing here? Right?
Oh, yeah.
And, and that will be different.
Sure. And equally, if we are at an interfaith convention or whatever, where the actual topic has to do with these things, then it's not, then it's different.
That will
be different. It can also be out of the blue, asking this question.
Yeah.
And then you can also go, so why is this relevant?
Yes, exactly. Right? So that's why I was like, this place is very important part of this question.
Yeah, somehow. Yeah. But there are other parts, such as how do you assume someone drink? We talked about, but
Yes.
handshake is another one.
Yes, handshake. Let's talk about it briefly, and then we can always take our conversations to our live sessions, and that's
Yeah.
where we will talk more about these and delve into it. So, handshake is a very sensitive issue in the West when Muslims don't shake their hands or they don't extend their hands. So there also is. I think I would encourage people to give space to each other. If you don't know the other person, and if you don't know the culture or the tradition they are coming from, don't be offended right then and there, like, oh, I felt dirty or they didn't shake their hands. This I'm talking from the Muslim perspective. For a Western or a secular or a Christian person or any other faith, Muslims do know, some do shake. I sometimes shake. Before I never shook my hand. Sometimes I do, but I'm coming back to this, and especially in the Corona times.
Oh, it's very good.
Putting your hands.
Very safe
for
way.
yeah, for those who are listening to us, not watching, I put my hand on my heart, and that is, you know, I acknowledge you and I say greetings to you. And what is more than your heart, right? So I think that is better than shaking hand, in my view. It's my view again, but that is a very traditional way in Islamic world to, greet each other with putting your hand, or, you know, and a slight bow, not too much, but a very slight bow with the hand
Your hand.
gesture. So I feel that in these times, actually, this might be a good practice for everybody. It doesn't matter who you
For
are,
sure.
right?
For sure.
It will
No,
work for everybody. But
it will.
handshake is not necessarily if somebody doesn't do it in the beginning. And once you know them, you will learn about why, and why not, and then it won't be so offensive also
No.
either, right?
But again, the knowledge helps, right?
Exactly.
In my situation, having been in circles and meeting people of different faiths for a long time, I if I know that it's a Muslim man, I will wait and see if he wants to shake my hand. I'll go for it.
Exactly.
But I want to kind of let him know that I'm aware of this.
Exactly.
And at the same time,
that's very respectful of you to have that knowledge and to give that space.
Yeah, it is. But it also comes from a place of knowing if it's a white man,
yes, that's
who I think
important.
is a Christian who doesn't want to shake my hand.
Yeah.
So
there are kinds
in that
of
way,
people.
I can also go, okay, if someone's offended, I can see how they are confused over this. So good to have an open mind also when it comes to explaining what things
and as
come from.
Or people should know that Muslims are of all colors and backgrounds. They are white with blue eyes and green eyes and black hair, and all kinds of Muslims, because it doesn't have a border or territory as such. You can find Muslims of any
and of course
ethnicity.
not all. I think it can be similar in different religions as well when it comes to who you touch and who you don't touch, right?
Exactly.
And even within our own cultures.
Yeah. We have Pakistani Christians, right? But they would be maybe going with the tradition that is in Pakistan. They might not be shaking hands either, although they are Christians. So it is nothing to do with the faith as such. It can be the tradition or the culture. Oh, my highlight is I have wild turkeys outside my window. So
oh my God.
Lots of lots of wild turkeys.
I saw my first coyote the other week, so there we go.
Oh wow. Anyways, okay, back to our topic. Okay, where are we now? I think we are
I think we're almost at the end of it.
Exactly.
But let's take this moment and ask our listeners and viewers to share your advice on what an etiquette is in these
in your
in multicultural interfaith settings.
Yes.
And
have they encountered
become
something
more courageous in this way?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, more courageous. And have they encountered anything? Please share your stories with us. And,
I mean, it's easy, and also again, humor is a great one to go. Yes. Oops, I stepped in it, right?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's actually a very good one. Ouch and oops.
Yes.
We've called it in many times in conversations. Go, either to say, be allowed to say, ouch, when you say it like that, that kind of hurts.
Yes.
But also to be able to say, oops, I said something I shouldn't have said. Oh, I offered you a glass of wine. I should.
Yeah.
Or I take that back.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll talk
Yeah.
about that also further. And there are a few more stories. And very
Excellent.
interesting stories about Muslims, a Muslim person offering me to drink. And I'm like, what? Okay.
Well, there we go.
All right.
Well,
All right.
as a Jewish friend who gave me bacon.
Exactly. All right. So, to the end of our show, before we leave, I have the association game for Jenny. This is our fun part. I mean, please share with us, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, Jenny, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Parents.
Mom and Dad.
Sister.
Estelle, she's my daughter, but she is a sister.
Brother.
Felix.
Water.
Life.
Breathing.
Necessary.
Heart.
Love.
Women.
Strong.
Interfaith.
Interesting.
Pakistani.
Shra.
Oh, you have two more. Pakistani. I'm Muslim, Pakistani, American.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry.
Oops.
We got to practice it straight away.
Okay, two more. Grass and tiger.
Oh, wow. Green and stripy.
Okay, all right.
The tiger is moving in the grass.
Yes. Yeah. Can't wait to be together, and maybe we will be doing that soon sometime, and I'll keep that for now a surprise. So I don't want to give it away.
Wonderful.
All right, Jenny. Thank you so much, everybody. Please remember to subscribe, share, comment, and don't forget to watch the previous episodes four before this one. And they are only short ones, so I don't think it is too much to do that. So thank you, and see you next week.
Thank you. Be well.